All right, Pete, check it out. I remember when I lived on 28th Street in Adams. For those of y'all who don't know, that's the east side. Lived on that street for like maybe 2 years, 3 years at this time. I'm 49 years old now. At this time, I was like 29, 30. So this was a minute ago. So I lived on 28th Street, Adams on the house, right? Next to me was a lady named Miss Limbs. She had two grandsons. One name was Eggy and the other nigga name was Chucky. Chucky, may he rest in peace. That was my nigga too. Both of them cats, I grew close with them. On the other side of the house was a guy named Mike Long. Mike Long was an older cat. He used to run with my father back in the day. My dad's name was Beaver. But he used to run with my dad back in the day. They did crime together. They did time together in prison together. So that's who Mike Long was. Mike Long had a nephew, light-skinned dude, long ass hair, ponytail with these crazy ass green, blue, hazel, crazy, light-skinned niggas, crazy looking eyes. One of the coolest little niggas you ever want to meet. And even though he was affiliated, and he was with that thug, that gang-like type shit, he was real respectful. But anyway, so I'm living on the block, right? So next door, Miss Lim, she got two Aggie and Chucky. Then was my cat. So you know how when you move to a neighborhood, you meet people in the neighborhood, but when you meet people, you meet other people because they introduce you to the people that they know. So one day, me and Eggy standing outside. So me and Eggy talking, chopping it up, bam, bam, bam. People are walking past all day, every day. Because remember, he's from the east side. He's actually I don't know if he still is, but at that time, he was an E-Town boy. They banged gray rags. They from projects. We had Pickles projects. We was on 18th Street in Adams, so 20th Street in Van Buren up the street was the Dupervilla project. So that was his hood. That's where he was from. So he knew everybody that lived in that area, that on that block, and even in the projects around us. So anyway, me and Eggy just cooling out one day, talking, bam, bam, bam. People walking past. He introduced me to a lot of cats. I'm shaking their hand. What's up, bro? You know how I go. One day, this one dude walked past. Now, this is where the story actually starts. This one dude walks past. His name was Country. He introduced me to Country like he did all the time. Shake Country hand, bam, bam, boom, we got it on. But for some reason, I took a real liking to Country, and Country took a real liking to me. So me and Country was cool. So from that day that I met Country from Eggy, I knew Country for me and Country was homeboys for like 2 years. So from that day I talked with Eggy, for 2 years from now, me and Country, he'd come to the house, knock on the door, I come outside, we smoke on the patio. You know how you kicking on the block with niggas you know that you cool with your homies. Not thinking nothing, not even knowing nothing. Why would I think? Why would I know, right? He was just a homeboy like everybody else was in the hood. Okay. Remember I told you Mike Long was next door, and Mike Long has a nephew named Tyrone, light-skinned dude, real respectful. That was my nigga. He was like a little homie to me, but I had other niggas in the hood that I used to affiliate with that I met through Eggy, and they were around my age group. Tyrone was only like 16, 17 at the time. He was a little homie. But anyway, we go to the store one day up the street to get some cigars and shit so we could smoke. The store was called Salt and Peppers, but we knew the lady personally for years. Her name was Tina, so we always called it Tina's. So we go up the block. Anybody from the east side knows, I'm not lying about it. We go up the block to Tina's. We in there shopping like everything, get some sodas, doing what we do every single day. Next thing I know, this nigga Tyrone, he's at the counter and he's kneeled over and he's pointing at the, you go to liquor stores and they got that glass right there and they be having like flyers sitting in. You can little flyers and little cards you can pick. He like, hey, yo, Young Beef. Young Beef, ain't that Country? And I looked over at him and he's kneeling across over the counter pointing at a picture. In my head, I'm thinking like, this is stupid. Like, why would that be Country? Like Country's body is not standing right there. So how are you pointing at Country? Like it was real irritating, right? So I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? So I walk over to where Tyrone's at. I follow his finger. I look at the cage thing. Yeah, lo and behold, y'all, we see Country on a pedophile flyer. You know the flyers they send to neighborhoods, let you know who's a pedophile, rapist, all that good, whatever that's bad stuff. Yeah. Wait, what? I'm looking like, nigga. Now remember, we all went to, it was like 6, 7 of us to actually mob to the store that day. So when Tyrone pointed it out, now I remember saying, I was homies with Country for like 2 years from the day I met him. But remember, when I got there, he was already in the neighborhood. So these people have known Country for years. I just knew it for 2 years. Never thought nothing, it was nothing. He was the homie. I kneeled over and looked, I said, oh shit. So nigga, like all 6, 7, 8 of us just standing looking at this looking at this poster like what in the what. And listen, y'all, his charges, yeah, it was crazy. You could use your imagination. You could imagine he had some pedophilia type stuff, but he also had some shit where he supposedly did some heinous acts with his ex-wife like twice. Some shit you're not supposed to be doing. Fellas, just a little commercial break real quick. Fellas, just because she's your wife, that don't mean you can just take the pussy, right? You can't just take the pussy. Anyway, so yeah, I guess he had some heinous acts like that, but when you read it, that we read the charges and all that, yeah, it blew our fucking mind. Now, keep in mind, even though we was all friends with Country at this point, when we seen this, you should already know that shit just turned off just like that. It turned off just like that. We wanted answers. Now, I told you moments, I lived in the house up there with my ex-lady. At the time, she was my lady at the time, and my son was 4 years old, so I already had a family. I wasn't in the streets cheating, had a whole bunch of girls. I didn't care about that. Already had a family, so I didn't give a fuck about other side bitches. However, the little homie Tyrone I was telling y'all about, he hung out in the hood with like 3 or 4 other dudes. And my little cousin, Gregory Peterson, they called him G-Baby. He was actually one of them too. When I got to the neighborhood, yeah, he used to roll my little cousin G-Baby. So he already had his own crew. Now they would chill with chickens, females, almost every day. I saw you would see little young chicks walking up down the block, coming to fuck with these niggas. They all outside. Cause like I said, I stayed right next door to Mike Long. And anybody from the east side know when you was at Mike Long career, yes, that's where it went down. And I'm right next door. So when I walk out, it's all good. Plus I'm young B. Like this is my dad's neighborhood, first of all. Just a little history on the Adams. It's the east side, but my dad used to run on that street. So when I first got there, that's how it was. Like you couldn't just walk on that block if you didn't know nobody. You couldn't just live there just because you had enough money to live there. Like the whole time I was there for like 2 or 3 years. I seen these niggas hoodie Vic so many people. Hoodie Vic so many people. There was a big ass black dude, big old dude. He was tall, but he was real fat and big. His name was Cheese at that time. He was from Broadway. He wasn't from the east side. He was from Broadway, but he happened to buy out. He was I guess he moved had a little work. So he had money. So he moved to the east side where we was at, but he moved right down the street on that corner house. You know what I'm saying? It was still Adams, but it was that corner house that she lived on. But when he moved to that block, the East E-Town boys on my block, like some of the cats Nuts and Lil Gank, LB, Hot Dog, some of them cats, Eggy, Chucky. Yeah, a lot of them cats went down there to actually check that nigga because he didn't come and check in because he's on that block. Because you couldn't just be on that block if you weren't there. Quick little story. When I first moved there on that block with my girl and my son, I had my garage door open, had the light on, and I was like I said, 29, 30, and I went to college at Gateway. And you get that college money. I bought a burnt orange scooter. So I'm sitting in the garage on my scooter, and the first nigga that approached me was the nigga Nuts. Because out there, like I said, I live next door to Mike Long. Mike Long used to run with my dad. So when Nuts walked up and he seen my garage door open and he seen me in there working on my scooter, because these niggas have never seen me before. This is the first night I was there. First night. These niggas didn't wait till a week. Yeah, the first night I was there, these niggas pressed me. Not really niggas, but just Nuts. So Mike told him that I was Beaver's son. So he looked over like, what the fuck? Beaver's son? So he walked up to me, he said, hey, what's up, man? And he didn't walk up hostile. He didn't walk up trying to be hard. What up, nigga? Who the fuck is you? He didn't do none of that. He was like, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? What's your name? And I told him, Charlie. He said, my dude, Mike, say, you Beaver's son? I'm like, yeah, I'm Beaver's son. He said, well, then, I mean, Squirrel him is your uncle. Like, yep, and snaps my auntie. He said, snap? I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay, say less, man. He shook my hand, walked to the neighborhood, and there it was. Had nothing to do with me. That's what I'm trying to show you. It had nothing to do with me. If my dad, Beaver, if I wasn't his son, yeah, I believe they would have tried to, they probably would have ran niggas out that block that night or would have tried some shit. You know what I mean? I'm not no hard ass, gangster ass nigga. I was there with my chick and my son, so I'm not trying to put them in no danger. But yeah, I see these niggas, hoodie Vic niggas all the time when I was there. But just the fact I was connected with my dad. But the point I'm making is, yes, if you don't know nobody up and down that street, then you wouldn't be on that street. Country was always on that street. So yes, for years. So yes, Country was good, we all thought. So when we saw that, Instantly, this shit just dropped. Like I said, Tyrone and them niggas had females that would chill with them every day, all day. Every day, all day. When that flyer came out to the hood and it hit Tina's, yeah, their females was telling these niggas like, nah, nigga, we ain't fucking around with y'all. We not coming to that neighborhood because that nigga's a pedophile and we ain't fucking with him like that. They just wouldn't come to the neighborhood. So of course, naturally, this angered Tyrone and his homeboys. So them niggas was like, nigga, the fuck, we gotta do something. That same day, cause we went to the store that morning to Tina's and we saw the flyer. That same day, when that nighttime came, the nigga Country comes walking up. Cause we ain't seen him all day. Nighttime come, Country comes walking up, like nothing ever happened. Because in his mind, nigga, ain't nothing happening. I'm sitting out my driveway just so coincidentally. Well, my ex driveway. Because by this time, me and my girl and my son, we had actually moved out and we moved down the street into a house. But we had just barely moved. So the house was still kind of it was empty and shit, but it had some of our stuff in it that we didn't want. So when we left, you know, I go in the hood, the crackheads in the hood took over the house. But I would still go back there every day because it was common ground to me where I would chill at and be on the block where all the homies would come and meet up every day. Gang, Nuts, LB Hot Dog, Eggy, everybody on the block comes. So check it. This is what happens. Hold on. Okay, so he comes walking up. He sees me standing on the garage, the patio, and I'm looking at this nigga walking up, thinking in my head like, nigga, is you crazy? So he walks up to me, shakes my hand. What's up, bro? I said, what's up, nigga? What? I had love for Country, y'all, but I couldn't just let that shit ride. Like reading them charges, I could not let that shit ride. I said, I looked at Country and I said, hey man, have you been to the store today? Because we go to the store every day, all the homies in the neighborhood, every day, all day getting beer, whatever. So I'm like, nigga, you ain't been to the store today? He was like, yeah, I've been sucking on me a brew earlier, and I'm like, you ain't seen what happened? You ain't see what was in there? And he was like, nah, nigga, what are you talking about? So I told him, I said, bro, there's a flyer with you posted, nigga, saying you did this and that and the other thing, That nigga looked at me and automatically, of course, he tried to finish that. Man, listen, man, that shit was back in the days. That was like in the 90s, nigga, but that was some shit that my ex-wife tried to put on me and and he went through the whole spiel and shit, but that really didn't matter. Listen to me. When me and Country were talking, we both were facing, the same direction. We wasn't talking like this. No. We were talking like this. I'm facing this direction and he's standing next to me, facing that direction. Well, we just shooting the breeze talking. Next thing I know, out of nowhere, remember the little homie I tell you about, Tyrone? Well, he rode with these other cats, but this one, I ain't gonna say their names though, but this one tall ass dude. He was like 6'6", dark skinned cat, and he was skinny, he was a black dude. Listen to me. Me and Country talking. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, that dude we'll call him Tank, just for the story, we'll call him Tank. The nigga Tank came out of nowhere. Bye-yow. Listen, y'all. He hit this nigga Country so hard in the side of his own Country's right ear, and I'm next to Country right here. He hit Country so hard. It was so hard and forceful and loud that I thought that I was hit. Soon as he hit Country, bye-yow, nigga. I jumped back like this and put my dukes up. And I'm turning around like, what the fuck? And I'm grabbing my ear like, yo, what's going on? Next thing I know, the little homie Tyrone sees me. He runs up to me because of grabs me. He's like, nah, young B, you good. And I turn around like, oh shit, nigga. I was like, okay, so I step back. When I step back, I see this nigga Country. It's my little homie Tyrone, my cousin G Baby, and their two other homies. It's 4 of these niggas. Listen to me. They beat this nigga up from the driveway because of they beat this nigga Country up from the driveway all the way out into the street. And they would still beat this nigga up. For some reason, he managed to get away and stumble away. And there was a big, long ass white stick. It was white. Yeah, I don't know if it was just something out in the house. But a big, long white stick that was in the street. Country runs, so he stumbles over there. And he actually gets the white stick. He has the white stick in his hand. And he pulls it up like this. Now he got these 3 niggas backing up. Because he's doing like this and trying to buy him some time to get away. So while he's swinging like this, my little cousin, G-Baby, There was an apartment complex right directly across the street from our neighborhood. You got our neighborhood, Adams, you got the street, you got the sidewalk, and you got the apartment complex right there. Directly across the street in the apartment complex, my cousin G Baby jumps over the gate and goes around and jumps back over the gate. When he comes back around, now he's behind Country, but Country don't see my cousin behind him while he's trying to swing and go for the deuce in front of him. He goes to swing to hit the deuce in front of him, but not knowing my cousin G Baby grabs the stick. Y'all, when my cousin grabbed that damn stick, Country was done. They rushed, he got the stick, they rushed Country and threw the stick down, and all four of these niggas just beat the shit out of Country. Listen to me. When they rushed Country, Country was standing upright on his feet like everybody else when you fight. But every 2 seconds that went past, that you see all these hands and arms swinging, hitting this nigga, every 2 seconds that goes past, you see Country's body drop lower and lower and lower and lower until he hits the ground. And that's when they really fuck him up, stomp him out because of what he did with the violation, you know. And you got to understand, man, when men, no matter who it is, but I'm going to speak from a man's perspective because I'm a man, not a woman, but when men do stuff like that, like grape, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. They grape women or molest, you know, whatever, children's, and yeah, you're a man, you're taking advantage of something that's really vulnerable, bro. And that's really violating. So that's really one of the reasons why you get caught in this pedophile and rape type thing. Yeah, people fuck you up for that because that's not cool, bro. Okay, that's not cool. If y'all out there doing this, don't be doing that shit. That's not cool. So yeah, they beat Country down to the ground. When he finally got up, yeah, Country had knots. He had knots all on his ass, like all on him. It was bad. It was real bad. And I just want to say you got to be careful. Got to be careful who you say you're loyal to and who you're not loyal to, because I could say all day I'm loyal to Country. Up until that point, he was my nigga. I was loyal to, I mean, like I said, in the neighborhood, we got into certain shit in the neighborhood. I didn't say all that in the story because it's not part of the story, but I was on the east side. These niggas was affiliated. These niggas was gangbangers. So I didn't just, every day I hung around these niggas. It wasn't just a hunky-dory day. Of course, we got into shit and dirt and blah, 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 blah. So Country know what's up. Me and Country done been in some shit together and, you know, stolen cars. You know what I mean? Just little stuff you get into when you young and do dumb shit. So yeah, I was in the neighborhood wilding, man. So I was, you know, I had my own, even though people knew I was Beaver, my dad Beaver's son, people still respect me because I had my own shit. I still did my own, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, making a point. I still did my own dirt. I still had to check niggas myself if they got out of line. I can't, oh, I'm Beaver's son, so niggas gonna automatically bow down. Well, no, I gotta make you bow down, nigga, let you know I ain't nigga to be fucked with. So yeah, I have my own thing on the east side. So, but that's how it was. So you can't be doing that shit, fellas. But yeah, all that shit, all that grape and that shit's nasty, bro. Cut that shit out. It's not gonna profit you. It's not gonna benefit you. It's just nasty, violate, disrespectful. I don't want to talk to you. Don't want to speak to you. Don't you around me. If I go to jail and they putting you in, you're sitting next to me. Yeah, you need to move, or I'm gonna move. It's not cool, y'all. Cut that shit out, nigga. That shit ain't cool. So be careful who you loyal to, because yes, I was loyal to Country up until that point when they was fucking him up, whether he felt it to be right or wrong, or they jumping me. Yeah, they're jumping you. They're catching you because you're vulnerable. Why? That's the same thing you did as a man to your ex-wife and them little kids and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you overpowered them and they were vulnerable. So yes, they're jumping you because you're vulnerable. It's called justice. Fuck legalism. Fuck the court system. Stomp you the fuck out in the streets for that nasty shit. You understand what I'm saying? If not, you do now. I'm Charlie Brown. That's my time. I thank y'all for tuning in for another story time. And I'll check y'all again. Charlie Beasy. Hey, catch y'all on the movie scene. I'm on the Dealer 2 movie we just got done with. The trailer just dropped. Early April, probably late April, the movie be out. I'm in a new movie. I play a character named Maximilian. I'm in a new movie that will be on Tubi this summer. It's called My Time to Shine. I'm doing it with Leroy Ford, Mr. Valentine, Callie Cleveland, your boy Jay Lex. Like, we doing shit. We out here, we working, man. So y'all catch me on that. Thank y'all for y'all support. Thanks for tuning in to my little story times, my little experiences of my life. And I love and I appreciate y'all, man. Nah.